What's up guys, it's Mimi. I found some really old footage of me doing a tutorial of how I made Kagome's bow from Inuyasha. I figured it's time, 2 years later, to finally do the editing. So here you go, I'll teach you how I made my bow. Alright, let's just get into it. Here's the PVC pipe I bought to make the bow. I think this was 1.5 inch pipe and I bought it at the hardware store. These pipes are really long, but I had it cut directly at the store so it would be easier for me to work with. I had measured 126 centimeters beforehand, so when I had it cut, I had exactly the size I wanted. Now you're going to take your measuring tape and find the middle of the pipe. Oh, hello Nora. Who's the big baby? Who's the big baby? You want to help Mama? Yes you do, yes you do. Mark it down with a pencil or Sharpie and keep the measure of it. Then you're going to take some paper and draw half of the shape of the bow. Use a lot of different references to make sure you get the form right. Cut out 2 pieces of that pattern and tape the middle parts together. Tape down your pattern on a flat surface to help guide you with the next step. Then I decided I would mark down where I want to bend the pipe, because that's the main part you will have to heat up using your heat gun. I took a large baking tray with some aluminum foil over for the heating process. Put on some heat-resistant gloves for this part because it's very important. You won't be able to manipulate this really hot pipe. Seriously, it's going to get really hot. Do not do this without heat-resistant gloves. As you can see here, I'm just trying to heat up the end of the pipe up to where I made my first mark. You're going to want to roll the pipe all around to make sure it's hot everywhere. You'll see the pipe slowly starting to lose its rigidness and start to curl. That's when you'll want to align the pipe to the pattern you've previously drawn. Keep your hands close to it and wait for it to cool into shape. Then you're just going to repeat this process until you've achieved the shape you want. This step is really long because the pipe does take quite some time before you can actually move it. The PVC pipes can be pretty thick. And don't forget the other side. You're going to want to flatten the ends, so heat it up and flatten it using your hands. It might still be too hot to hold, so you can always use oven mitts over your heat-resistant gloves to get a little more protection. As you can see, I'm really struggling to try and keep it flattened because it's too hot. Oopsie. Try your best to flatten it as much as possible. Don't forget the other end. I then realized that I probably won't be really using it as a real bow, and that the shape I was molding it was into the relaxed shape of the bow, so I decided to curve it even more in the middle so that in photos it would look like I'm really pulling on the bow ready to shoot. So this is the final shape I decided on. I think it's looked way better already bended. Now it's time to paint! I'm just using regular acrylic paint, and let me tell you, you will need a lot of different coats of paint. So pop on a movie, watch your favorite TV show, and paint away. This is what the first coat looks like. I've noticed that the paint really doesn't cover the black markings on the PVC pipe, so I decided I would sand it away. This took so long by hand and I got impatient, so I decided to take out my rotary tool. If you're going to use this method, please do not forget to wear safety glasses and a mask. You do not want to be inhaling any of this or getting a piece of it in your eyes. I went a little rough with the rotary tool, so I hand sanded it a little more so it would be more smooth. And now it's back to painting. And painting, and painting. I was watching Persona 5 playthrough on YouTube. When you're all done with painting, it's time to seal it using Mod Podge. Next, for the middle section of the bow, I just took some scraps of white fabric. I snipped a little tiny bit of it and ripped it out using my hands. I feel it gave it a more natural, old school look kind of thingy. for the bow. It just seemed more logical that they didn't really have scissors in the feudal era. Did they? Anyways, I like this look better. Using hot glue, I just glued the fabric all around the middle part. Add a few strands of glue every time you turn it around to make it extra secure. Make sure that when you hold your bow, there's fabric still visible on the top and below your hand. Then, using a wood pyrography tool, you're going to want to make holes at the— oh my god, Nora, get out of here, it's dangerous. Shoo. Sorry. So, you're gonna want to burn at the ends of the bow to make room for your string. Then I use this braided polyester string to attach it to my bow from the holes we just made. If you're eventually going to want to bring out your bow to an anime convention, make sure you check beforehand the safety precautions of the con itself, because some conventions don't allow bows at conventions. The ones I went to allowed us to bring bows as long as you didn't have any string attached to it, so make sure you're following the convention's regulations. If you're struggling like me to make the string go through the holes without it splitting, you can always tape the ends of the strings to help it glide in easier. I initially wanted to cover the ends of the bow with REUPLOAD to finish it off, but I ran out of time to finish the bow for the event I wanted to bring it to, and ended up just painting the ends of the bow gray instead. But if you want to add finishing details, feel free to use either REUPLOAD or even just foam to cover the ends of the bow. And voila! Not too bad for making a simple bow, right? And that's it. That's how I made my bow. I hope it was useful for you. And now, for the most important part, the French word of the day. So, for today, I'm gonna teach you how to say flèche. Can't really separate it with syllables like I usually do. It's really just flèche. Flèche means arrow. See you in the next one.